When you get to be my age, you always have the option of forgetting that you're next. But I am not going to be simply next today. I am bringing something with me that many of you have seen and some of you have not. One of the things we do here at FUS about every 10 years, we make a new set of photographs of ourselves. It's a very informative set of photographs because when you look back at the one from 2009, almost a decade ago, there are a lot of faces in there that aren't here anymore. So what am I going to do? What is Stewardship Minute today? It's a story, for me, of joinings. In 1970, all that long ago, Gretchen and I were persuaded by some friends who knew the Unitarian Society. We didn't know it that well at that time. We'd only been in Minneapolis for about 4 years. We were persuaded to join. And most of the reason we joined was our children. Peter was 7. Ben was 5. Liska was less than 6 months. But we had hope, you know. We figured, well, they'll all grow up and be good kids, and they ought to be here, and they'll learn something like, unfortunately, we didn't have many children down here today, but on the other hand, there we are. She learned something. All right. So, where do we go from there? Well, Gretchen and I, when we joined, we were in our 30s. We didn't have a lot of money. We were persuaded to start our first pledge at the $200 level. And we did, and that was a stretch. But as the years went by, other good things happened. I worked at the university. They must have thought I was good because they kept paying me more each year. Then my parents died. I inherited some stock. Oh, there's a lot you can do when you inherit some stock. So we went on from there. $200 was a stretch back then. What we give now is a little more than $200, and my wife reminds me that that's a stretch too, so we should be careful. There's a linkage between that stretching and the one that David has started here. David Breeden joined us within this current decade. And after he had joined, and we were delighted that he'd come, he said, you know what? It doesn't want to just be me. It wants to be other people too. And he spoke about one who is sitting here on the stage. Her name, my last name is Clements. Her last name is sort of close. It's Clement. Well, we figured that was all right. She could be here too. Why not? Jim Foti was the other one. And what David said was, they need to be here too. We need to expand the potentials of the ministry in this place. Made sense to me then. Makes a lot of sense to me now. Where do we go with this? Well, we go into our pocketbooks because money is important to make these things achievable. And next, let's see, in May, we have a meeting, an annual meeting of all of us who are here, and some who are not here today, and you better tell them about it, because we have to reach into those pocketbooks that are ours and give a little more than we did. And when we do that, then Kelly can stay. And Jim Foti, he may be in Washington, D.C. now because he's pretty special, and he went there. David sent him there and said, the world needs to know more about humanism than it does when everybody stays here. So that went on. But all I'm saying now, and if I don't say it quickly, Kelly will come up and punch me in the back and say, it's time you're done.
You're saying nice things about me. Go on.
I sort of dropped that one in. I had a feeling it might work, and it did. She doesn't want to punch me in the back. And she shouldn't, because she should stay, and so should Jim, and so should David. That's what makes this place so special. And the stretching we do and the possibilities that are part of all of this are wonderful. And if we do it, we'll probably publish another one of these books. And then most of the people in it will still be here. They'll not be like our three, 7 years old, 5 years old, 6 months old. Oh, not anymore. Peter's in New York City now. He's in the film business. He's a caring person, and the film work is a wonderful place for him to show that. Ben is with the History Center in St. Paul. He puts together exhibits. We're going to have one fairly soon on the Somalis, who have been living here many years, and that's a wonderful thing to do as well. What about Liska? Liska, watch out for her. She's like her father. She's a professor of landscape architecture, and she teaches at the University of Oregon. She's still too far away, but she at least is teaching. And all those things are good. This is what this place is about. It's about people. It's about caring. It's about giving, and that's why I am going to pick up my picture book here and try not to pick up anything else that belongs to somebody else and make my way. Whoops. It's hard to do these things. I'm going to go sit down. Goodbye.